Liverpool have a huge problem. After 6 games, Liverpool are currently top of the league, 5 wins, 1 loss. However, in my opinion, there is still a huge issue in Slot's side. That being their inability to be able to win games comfortably this season. And for a team that won the league and got to a cup final last season, it just feels wrong. Last season was obviously Slot's first season in charge at Liverpool, and they looked good. They were winning game after game, dominating games, controlling them, winning them comfortably. First, let's start with Bournemouth at home, their first game of the season. And for me, this one was always going to be difficult and a bit shaky. Bournemouth are a good side, accompanied by the fact that Liverpool signed lots of players in the summer. All of those players need time to gel into the squad. You got Ekitike, Kirkez, Florian Wirtz. Although Ekitike did have a good game, got his goal as well, the same can't be said for the others. This is a public service announcement. I have been nominated for Best Young Content Creator at the Football Content Awards. And my podcast, The Boot Room, has been nominated for Best Premier League Podcast. And we're up against some big competition in football commentating legend Martin Tyler. So it'd be greatly appreciated if you could click the link at the top of the description, fill out the form, it takes 30 seconds, and vote for me and my podcast. The next game was Newcastle away, the Alexander Isak derby. And we had to be rescued by a then 17-year-old kid in Rio Engamoa. And remember, Newcastle were down to 10 men at the end of the first half, with Anthony Gordon getting sent off for a silly tackle. And yet, despite Liverpool being 2-0 up and Newcastle being a man down, they managed to pull it back to 2-2. And I know St James's Park is a difficult place to go, but that is not good enough from Liverpool whatsoever. The late drama and the scrappy winners just go on and on with Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Burnley. All the way up until now, their most recent game, Crystal Palace away, and Liverpool lost. This season, they have been the kings of late drama, late winners. But this time, they were at the other end of the stick, facing a late winner from Eddie Nketiah. For me, there are so many reasons why Liverpool haven't been winning games comfortably. Like I obviously said, Liverpool brought in a heap of players this summer, which means they need time to gel and settle into the new club or even a new country. Other than that, there are some individual players that just haven't been up to par. Ibrahima Konate, he's one for me that hasn't been good so far this season. He had a shaky first 2 games, then picked back up his form, but that Crystal Palace game was poor from him. And for me, I think his head's in Madrid. I think he's off to Madrid next summer, as sad as it is. I do love Ibu. Milos Kerkez is another one for me that has started poorly. And I obviously do know he is coming into a new team, but he was spectacular last season for Bournemouth in the same league, but he hasn't been up to par. Once again, he had a shaky first few games, picked it back up, but that Palace game was very bad from him. Especially in that last minute, he's showing that he's very one-footed. Instead of using his right foot to boot it up the pitch, he clears it out for a throw-in for Palace on his left foot. And then we obviously all know what happens there, and Nketiah scores. And that's why for me, Andy Robertson needs to be given another chance in that starting 11, especially this season. I do also want to touch briefly on Alexis McAllister. McAllister went from being our best midfielder last season to falling off a cliff this season. The whole season, this has been really poor from him. I don't know how he can fall off this badly. But there is obviously something to note with him. In pre-season, he did have a few injury problems, but he needs to get his act together and quickly. Florian Wirtz has gone 007. And although I think he has looked decent in a few games here and there, particularly Burnley for me, he needs to get his act together, go get a goal or an assist, and quickly. Otherwise, I can see the fans turning on him. And now for something that I think I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying, but Mohamed Salah has not been up to par. So don't get me wrong, Salah's obviously a good player. He's been putting up numbers this season. But if you watch the games, he's just not playing as effectively as he used to, especially last season. And I don't know what it is. He tried a hand of God against Palace as well. For me, it could be down to the new signings. Maybe he's getting a bit of pressure off of him, getting a bit complacent because he now knows he doesn't have to solely carry the team in the attack. But even then, he shouldn't be getting complacent of his place in the team. I mean, Federico Chiesa started brilliantly and is not being given minutes by Slot. If Salah doesn't start performing, Chiesa might get a start over him. And now for me, the biggest reason to why Liverpool haven't been able to comfortably win games is Arne Slot. Some of his team selection and game management has not been good enough. I mean, he keeps picking Salah in his starting 11s, although for me, there are a few other attackers that deserve the starting spot over him. Also, there's times in games where I think he's bringing on the wrong players. And if he is bringing on players, he's bringing them on at the wrong time, whether that's too early or too late. For me, especially this season with Slot, he's bringing on substitutes way too late on in games. He needs to be more ruthless, hook players if they're not playing good, like we saw with Kirkez at Burnley. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of stick for this video, but it has to be said. I also want to give plaudits to the players that are playing immense this season. Alisson and Van Dijk have been doing it for years at this point. They're some of the best in the world in their positions. Then Ryan Gravenberch, he's been the best midfielder in the world. Just watching him play, watching him on and off the ball is amazing. Hugo Ekitike, he started brilliantly, getting goal after goal. And then probably for me, our best player of the season so far, Dominik Szoboszlai. I mean, he's played absolutely everywhere this season, whether that's as a lone 10, with another number 10, in the 8, in the 6, and even at right back. So what do Liverpool need to do going forward? First, a couple of their new signings still need to settle in, like Kirkez, like Florian Wirtz. Slot then needs to start being ruthless and not start players purely based on their name. It needs to be based on merit. And then after those two things are done, in my opinion, nothing is stopping this Liverpool team from going right to the very top. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel as well. You can also check out one of my other videos, but other than that, goodbye.